Happy Espresso Mail Call, everyone. And welcome to everybody here. Tonight, we've got a big crowd, the biggest Espresso Mail Call crowd we've ever had. Right, immediately over to my left, I have Chuck Hensey. Chuck, welcome.
Hey there.
We have Milt as well to his left. And going down, we have Phil from Philtastic Comics. We have Mark Andrews from way up north. And we have Steve, the Voice White, from not as far up north.
Good evening, folks.
How you guys doing tonight?
Awesome.
Doing good.
Should we make a lot of noise, Phil, to
For some
wake your
reason,
son
I
up?
can't hear you. So I'm not sure why that is. So let me see. Hold on a second.
We can hear you.
We can hear
Well, I'll
you,
tell you
Phil.
what. Let's get started. And meanwhile, I will check with my voice stuff and see what the heck is going on with it. So let's start off with Phil. So Phil, we want you to start off. Show us some comics that you just recently had. We're going to make you big. So let's get you going there. And then I will check on my audio.
Getting you big. I didn't even need Zoltar.
All right, Phil, it's yours.
Okay. I'm cheating a little bit because this isn't exactly a comic. But it is comic related, I promise you. And this is something that I came across recently that it really spoke to me. It's from one of my favorite artists, David Mack, who's known for, I don't know if there's a comic title now that he has not done a cover for. But he was offering these prints through Neverwhere, Neil Gaiman's website, that was a bit of a fundraiser for the people affected by the recent fires in Maui. So I decided to go ahead and buy a signed print here. So here's Sandman and Dream.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Nice little signature.
Very cool.
Right
Very nice.
there.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. And it has some sort of, you can't really tell here. I could barely see it. There's a bit of an embossing from, I guess, Neil Gaiman's website to say it's an official print, numbered 227 of 750. And something I thought that was really cool that they threw in, they included a sticker of the same print, just smaller.
Cool.
Very
And also a sticker of, I think everybody here is familiar with Neil Gaiman's poem, The Wish, that David Mack has done some art from. It's a nice little sticker there, too.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah,
That
so
is
I really
nice.
liked the artwork. And, any chance I get and I see an opportunity to help somebody in need or a charity like this, because it was a substantial portion of the proceeds from what I understand. For me, it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Nice. Very nice.
Well, David Maxwell is artists, people kind of forget about now, but as you said, Phil, he's done art for just about everything and everyone. So
Yeah, I love the stuff that he did for Something is Killing the Children when he did all those variant covers for that. That is just phenomenal. You get that whole David Mack pack. It's really cool.
Yeah,
I can now hear you guys, but I missed the entire Philtastic presentation.
It was amazing.
So you done, Phil? I'm sorry. I'm just like.
Oh yeah, no, that was it for me.
Round
it for
one.
you?
That was round
That
one.
was-
Yes.
That's all you have for round one?
That's all I
Oh,
have
no.
for round one. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Mark.
He's
I know
behaving.
you weren't ready, but you're up.
I'm okay. I'm good. How many have I got here? We're only doing 2 rounds, right, Joe?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to do that. All right. So I was pretty happy to come across this first book. It's from the American Comic Group, August of 1966. So the American Comic Group was only in existence from 1939 till 1967. They did all kinds of interesting characters, some cool books, but allegedly, now Chuck might fact check me on this. The American Comic Group, this title is considered the longest continuous horror title of its day. So it's the Adventures into the Unknown. And this is, yeah, I was pretty happy. Now, what kills me is I found this in a $2 bin.
Really?
Jeez.
Mhm.
Wow.
Wow. Sweet.
That's fantastic.
I know. I just couldn't believe it. I thought, okay, well, it's going to be missing pages. It's got to be. It's not. It's just lack of appreciation of some of the older books, the golden age that just are not known, right? So this is issue 166. So they stopped printing in 1967. So this is August of. So it's pretty well almost the end of this comic publishing. I just think it's cool, and I needed
I have
to.
I have one of the Nemesis books somewhere. I know I have that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
remember
like how the
Nemesis.
red pops on that.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
the yellow. It's a nice looking book,
$2.
and I just went, why is this in here? But for $2,
Now, did you offer the guy like $20 for it or something like that? Since
no,
you were getting
I
sales?
didn't, because it was a comic dealer. Like if it had been Mrs. Smith's yard sale, I would have said no, this is more than $2. But if it's a comic dealer,
That's his problem.
Screw him. You know
well,
what?
like,
You
that's
should
pretty-
know your stuff, comic
Right.
His
dealer.
business, exactly.
And
That's
those
pretty
books-
harsh, Joe. So I'm going to show only 4 books, but this next one is kind of cool. It's Mystery in Space, issue 111.
Yeah.
This is when Mystery in Space came back. The last time it had been published, issue 1110, was in 1966. So this is from 1980 when they brought it back. It's a great Joe Kubert cover. So I guess this would be the Silver Age of Mystery in Space, or Bronze Age, right? Yeah, sorry. It was silver, and then it stopped, and then it became. This is the first Bronze Age of Mystery in Space, and it is
Has the
Very-
same lettering.
yeah. It's all the same. It just like it was 14 years between issues.
Hey,
Right.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Very cool.
Very
So
nice.
the last 2 for this round are kind of similar. There's some similarities. Anyways, you guys know that I really like different artists, and I like different to see where their styles were like when they were first starting. Now I don't know, because I'm trying to find out. I do know that, and not everybody likes Mignola. I like his stuff. I just think it's interesting. Mike, his first printed cover that he did was the Comic Book Reader in 1981, and it doesn't look like anything that he does today. And then I like to find books like, okay, what was his first DC book? What was his first Marvel book? What was his, if he did any? And I came across this.
What's that? Kickers?
Kickers Inc. This is a Mike Mignola cover.
Really?
Yeah, which
Yeah.
shocked the crap out of
Got
me.
me. Wow.
But the new universe was basically hiring, all these brand new creators off the street.
Yeah.
So
So-
it's not shocking that some of his earliest work is in there. So
Yeah. So I don't know, but oops, sorry. It's a signature cover of Mignola.
Yeah.
And he did Kickers Inc.
Was that a series?
Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't even
It was
hear
a really
Kickers.
bad series.
that's God's honest truth.
Well,
Um,
and
Did you
so-
read it? Did you read it? Is it any good?
Oh, I did read it. No, it's not good.
Is it about soccer?
It was
that's why we still don't have the new universe. You see, it's all Kickers Inc.'s fault,
yeah,
among
it's
other
all-
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all Kickers Inc. Like, it's just so Gary's saying that it was the Solomon Kane his first was that his first Marvel series?
I don't know.
Solomon
Gary would
Kane
know.
series? Anyway, but this does not look at all like Mignola, but that's him.
Is that so? Seth says his kickers is slang for rednecks. Is that it? Was that what the story was about?
No, I
If
think
it
it's
had been, it might have been a better story.
And Chuck answers it's a reference to football players.
Yeah, they were superhero football players. Like,
Oh, there you go.
it was bad. So anyway, because of that one, I kind of like Dark Horse and the Hellboy and all that good stuff.
Right.
I came across this one.
Black Cross.
Black Cross. Dark Horse presents. This is the very, very first issue of Dark Horse Comics.
Wow.
Now that is cool.
Yeah,
That is nice.
yeah, and this is the first appearance of Concrete.
Oh, there you go.
So this is the first book that they put out that has got Dark Horse. Though they've lost some ground as a publisher, but this is the book that got them started.
What year was that?
This is 1986 June.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I thought that was
awesome.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
And
right
I
up
even
my
used one
alley.
of those fancy clear backer boards because I wanted to be able to see Concrete.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Ooh.
I got to get one of those. Black Cross, 1987.
Mark, Seth has a question for you.
Oh, what's that?
Where did you pick that
where
up
did I
on
pick this up? I believe it or not, I found this on the great eBay.
Wow.
Really?
And this one, and I was really pleased with the condition, and the price it's not an expensive book.
It looks
What
great.
was the price?
I think this was less than $25.
Wow.
And that's Canadian Milt. So for you, that's like coffee money.
It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
it's chump
$3.
change.
So yeah, that's
Mark, I will have that someday soon.
yeah. And the color is great. The cover's great.
Yeah.
You know, and
It is.
this was the guy they were hoping that was going to kick off the comic book series was this character, and it was actually that character that kicked it
Yeah.
off.
So Trev has
love those
converted it.
Yeah, that's exactly. Trev, that's about $2.
Thank you, Trev. I was
that
going to Google
character
that later.
gives off some Punisher vibes to me. You know?
Yeah.
It's like-
Oh, he does definitely give off some Punisher
Yeah.
vibes. So
Evil
I
Dead.
just thought it was. I like that kind of stuff to find like first artists and first issues, and you know, like it's. I don't know. That's one of the things that's kind of my jam is those kind of books, and that's my first round.
That's your first round.
Yep.
That means that the boy from Pittsburgh is up.
He's gonna show stuff that's gonna just be amazing.
No. This is something I just posted the other day. Just the first issue of Blue Beetle.
Yep.
Good, he had nothing amazing.
Beautiful.
This past weekend, I was looking in my trunks, and I found some things that were kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. Kind of. Just you know.
And then I found this, which I thought I didn't know what the hell it was, but it was kind of neat. It's the first comic art done by Frank Frazetta. Tally ho!
Oh wow.
Wow.
Oh my Lord.
Can you raise it up just a little bit? So
Just a little bit, Mel.
Oh wow.
There you go.
What year is that?
That must be like 40s or
And
something.
center, right?
December 1944.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at the condition of that thing.
Yeah.
It's in really good shape. Yeah, considering it's surprising. But it's
Now
kind
I
of.
thought so, that's pretty cool.
And then
That is one of my
I'm a big
favorite-
fan of.
Yeah.
That's why that book that you have, Mark. I like first appearances and first issues, and
Yep.
you have two pretty cool books. And here's another. I just like dinosaurs and stuff like that. So another Strange Worlds, number 3,
That's a great cover. I love
Yeah.
that. Look at that.
from 1951.
1951.
A fantastic year.
I wonder why you say
Year
that.
one, vintage.
Frank Frazetta did and Wally Wood both did the interior art, which was kind of cool. And then Everett Kinsler did the cover.
So of course you
This
bought it for
was
the dragon.
neat. Mark, this is what I wanted to show you. I had this on
Get ready. Oh my God.
show a
See?
while back.
Yeah, you did. You just wanted to taunt me again.
Joe,
No,
throw him
no,
off. Just
screw
throw him
that,
off.
Screw that. Look what I found.
Oh,
Look at that.
Joe, I mean, Mark, I found you one.
Oh
Okay.
no! Come on, no.
So this is kind of cool.
That's very cool. Vampires of the Void Strange. Oh wow, those are beautiful books.
They're both in good shape too.
Holy crap.
And then my last one for the first one, and I think this is kind of cool because I don't know that much about the character, but Marvel Boy.
Marvel Boy, yeah.
Wow.
Number one.
Number
from
one.
December of 1950.
Wow.
Has the origin of Marvel Boy. I like the flying saucer cover, but the cover and art is done by Russ Heath.
Russ.
Yeah.
Who I'm not really familiar with.
I've heard his name before, though. Yeah.
Great art, though.
So it's kind of neat. I like the dinosaur cover, or not the flying saucer cover. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Milt puts us all to shame again.
As usual.
No. This is just some stuff I found in the trunk.
Just some stuff, not a big deal,
Sir, no. And then my last book, I'll share one more book on the round one.
Okay.
And this is, I got two dogs, Starsky and Hutch. And I took a picture of them and I gave them to an artist at the latest, or actually a Steel City Con almost a year ago. But she drew this from the picture. And it is
cool.
Starsky and Hutch
That's great.
on a cover of Stray Dogs.
Oh, very
Very
cool.
That's
Something
really cool.
that I'll always have to remember Starsky by.
That's
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
I
very
love
cool.
that.
Mel. I like it.
This means more than all those other books, to tell you the truth. But anyhow, okay, guys, thank you for putting up with my.
Well, we have to now take a breath and relax for a while here,
Yeah,
No.
just
And I'm
so
glad,
you know.
Steve. I'm glad I'm not next. That's all
Oh,
I
I
got to
know,
tell.
but
Mark,
I think Phil and I
I
just
found that
wiped
for
out
you,
his
though.
life frame.
like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, holy shit, are you kidding me?
Don't you have a trunk somewhere, Steve? Come on.
No.
Wow us with your voice. Sing to us, Steve.
Yes, the boys. Let's go.
We're gonna start singing tonight now.
You
That's
load
gonna be the next one.
16 tons.
Oh,
What do you
yes.
get?
And there's a day older and a deeper.
Deeper in debt.
Yeah.
So I just got 2 books for the first round. It's just ones that I picked up last week. So
That's all I got too.
Yeah. So keep it simple. I'm a big fan of Larry Hama. Back in the 80s, I started collecting the G.I. Joe series. I never got the whole run of it until about 3 years ago when my brother called me up and told me he started wanting to go through his collection and liquidate everything. So I went over and helped him, and he has the full run of G.I. Joe. So after I was done helping him with everything, I said, hey, do you want to sell me that whole G.I. Joe run? So a couple $100 later, and I walked home with the entire collection.
Nice.
So now what I'm doing is I'm trying to get the full run in newsstands and direct editions. And number one, I was missing the direct edition of it. So I found it, and I found it in a graded copy too. So I'm
Nice.
near mint minus, which is
That's
okay. So that'll go nicely.
Great. I love the red on the background there.
Oh, I
with
know
the
this
blue
cover is
and
just
all that. This is
absolutely
perfect.
iconic. I'm a big sucker for this cover, and I just, I love the G.I. Joe series. Larry Hama just knocked it out of the park. For a guy who was an editor at Marvel and had no idea what he was doing from issue to issue, had no plans even as he was writing each issue. It was just incredible how he come up with a fantastic stories every time. And you could pick up pretty much any issue and figure out the story and just carry on from it, which was awesome. But with this deal, not only did I get this one, but the lady who I bought it off of also had a raw newsstand copy to go with it.
Cool.
So that's just another extra newsstand.
That's nice.
Now I have 2 of them.
Very nice.
And then I have my direct edition. So I'll probably end up selling this one off to recoup some of my money.
Mm.
And, I'm trying to get the whole run in the 9s somewhere in CGC. I just got a number 4. It's on its way from Texas right now in a 9.6.
Wow.
So yeah, big fan of this
Very
stuff.
nice.
Love this series. And that's my big first round.
I never was
Going
a
after
never was a
Milt.
GI. I never was a GI Joe fan, And I think part of the reason for that was when I was a kid, there were I guess it was the smaller GI Joes came out, and little boys played with them because all the girls had the Barbie dolls, and for us that were like 11 or we weren't going to play with any dolls. We didn't care that it was a soldier doll. It was like, you're not going to play with a doll, and that type of thing. So that kind of closed me off to all the GI Joe stuff. I never, when it came out and all the stuff, I just never followed it, never went into it. It just not for me.
Yeah, because the original characters, they were the tall action figures before they came out.
I can't remember which one was which. Yeah, because they tried to copy Barbie, same size as Barbie.
Exactly, that's right. With the real hair and the beard and all the weapons and the clothes and all that stuff.
Now, if I had bought a few of them back then, would have been good, but I didn't.
Would have been.
Yeah. See, my generation was the smaller GI Joes.
Right.
So when I see that cover, it takes me back to just the actual packaging itself. I remember just being, it was like a comic panel in itself, because you always had some explosion or something going on in the background.
Yeah. And the toys were really cool back in the day too. I was just showing my student today, he'd never heard of it before. And I asked him if he'd heard of the USS Flag toy. So I showed him a video of it and I said, this thing was absolutely massive. And if you knew somebody who was like independently wealthy, their kid might have had this thing. The flag, it was huge. It was like 6-7 feet long. It was a massive toy. Oh, wow. Biggest one Hasbro ever put out.
And then the collectible people have gone back and they've done sort of the larger GI Joe versions of like Captain Action, and a bunch of the Dynamite and a bunch of the King characters, Ming the Merciless, Flash Gordon, and a bunch of the others that you can find at some of the comic stores now. So
yeah. Just before I finish with the first round too, I remember I showed you guys this one the last time we did this show.
Right.
Yep.
I went on right after that show was done. I went to my comic shop, the lovely Texas, and I found issue 2, which is the Wonder Woman, or volume 2.
Whoa.
So it's on its way to me right now. So the next time I'll have the volume 2 Wonder Woman.
Excellent.
It'll be cool.
Good.
So when Steve knows all the answers to all the trivia, he's not using Google. He's going
Yes.
Okay.
It's just
You'll hear the pages flipping in the background.
I'll be just like,
nice.
hang on.
I'll have
It'll be like
everything
all
annotated.
thumbnails and little things sticking out of here as I'm flipping through and go, wait.
All right, Steve, that was pretty good. Chuck, you're up.
All right. Well, I've got a couple of things that I picked up. That's those, not those, but that I picked up online and at my store. So for this first round, I just got this online, which is continuing my work on my Dave Stevens covers here with a 3D Sheena, and it does have the glasses inside. Nice. So that's really cool, and this is a nice solid copy. So
who did that cover?
Dave Stevens. So
I thought you were going to say that.
Yeah, I have to limit myself to one Dave Stevens purchase a month now because they've all gotten so expensive that.
What the hell is that anyhow?
Good, crazy. People have finally developed good taste. Unfortunately, they waited a little while.
Yeah, Chuck, you mentioned that there was that kind of that biography or documentary that was on. Was it on Netflix? I forget.
It's on Amazon.
On Amazon.
Yeah.
So I watched it, and it got me into it too. So I bought like a Dave Stevens one. I downloaded one of his, and it's basically the wallpaper on my phone now. Scantily clad women. And so my wife says, "What's that?" I said, "It's art. It's art. It's Dave Stevens art."
It's just a comic book.
It's just another comic book. Well, the amazing thing with him is how popular he was with all the ladies. I keep reading these stories about him at the cons, and
he was a good-looking guy. Yeah,
clearly. All right. Another thing I picked up here is old school Brave and the Bold.
Nice.
And
very cool.
This is back when they were still kind of toying around with Eclipso and trying to figure out what to do with him. Yeah. He was starring in I think it was House of Secrets, I believe. Along with Fritz Rahman. Who we don't hear much from anymore. So, and with good reason, I might add. Interesting. I have a couple of those books, and they're not. It's not good. So,
It's like, what is it? Buana. What was the guy's name? The jungle guy, Buana something.
Wannabe, yeah, but
Wannabe.
he's been redeemed. No one ever bothered with Prince Rahman. I guess they were worried he might show up somewhere else. Anyways, this is also the first month they started doing the go-go checks.
Yeah.
Because there's an advertisement in here talking about the go-go checks, and why they were doing it. So that's kind of cool. I love the go-go checks on the DC books. So, and going from that Brave and the Bold to my LCS, where I picked up some newer ones from the early 2009 series. So we've got Hardware and Blue Beetle.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Really cool team up there. And then we have a beautiful George Perez cover with Wonder Woman and Power Girl.
Very nice.
That is a great cover.
Yeah.
Is awesome.
And I paid actually a little bit less than what's on the sticker. So I thought this was a great purchase for, $5 or so.
Yeah.
But Chuck, the problem with that cover is that what are those? What are those things? Is that like fire or spikes or something coming at them?
It's fire coming at them.
Yeah, it's covering up the women. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but
you could have done it differently.
There's plenty of George Perez goodness here to take care of us. So we are all we are all covered there. So and lastly, I've been watching the guy talked about his grading for a while. It's the Futures. I gotta look him up on Instagram now. One of these guys who does online sales, like Future Past or something. He keeps showing off all the stuff he's sending off to get graded. Mm-hmm. And of course I can't find him now on Instagram. So anyways, so I finally broke down and bought some stuff at one of his auctions just out of curiosity. I did not go for the super, super high grade stuff. But I got a nice Strange Tales here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
A solid VF Strange Tales. Can't go wrong.
Nice.
Bless you. A nice Doctor Strange that has come down quite a bit in value, thanks to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Kind of cooling off both of these characters here. So, but it still is really neat to have one of those. And then the last one for this round, I grabbed a slightly mid-grade Where Monsters Dwell 1.
I love the hand.
Yeah, always pick that up.
Yeah.
So, I got a few copies of that too. It's a neat book. It's a neat cover, a neat story.
You just grab it.
It is. And, these Marvel these 70s reprints have started to take off as people, really discover the nice art in them. And, of course, and these just absolutely wackadoodle covers. So, but that's okay. They're great. So,
yeah.
And that's all for me for this round. So,
nice.
Okay. So I only have two things to show for the first round. Well, okay, I'll just show the first round. The first one, Steve. Talk about rabbit holes. Immediately.
Oh, no.
Show, I would have got my own.
Yes. All right. Yes.
So, I'm looking at it, and I went on Abe's books online.
Oh, yep.
And managed to come up with one, which is in pretty decent shape,
Yeah, yours is a better shape than mine.
Yeah.
Mine's pretty beat up.
Over 1,000 separate adventures. And how much did it cost me? It wasn't that much. Let me just see. I got the bill in here. Abe sticks the bill inside the book for some reason. I don't know why he does that. How much did I pay for this? Oh, $11.
$11. Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So Trev was it Trev or Seth that did the conversion, Steve? So that's what, $74 Canadian?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
1,100 entries, 220 rare illustrations, 408 pages, 380,000 words, 7 years of research in a convenient A to Z format. So I got my own now. that I'm
That's cool.
gonna be looking through.
That
Did you-
is awesome.
Did you know that Alfred was a superhero too? And Alfred
Of
actually
course.
had Alfred's in there, and he's a superhero.
Mhm.
And the second thing is, I have a few of these books that I bought when I was, younger, about movies that came out, like superhero movies and stuff like that. And I happened to see this one, which I did not have, so I picked this one up. So this is
nice.
the official
Yep.
movie souvenir magazine of Batman '89. So I haven't even gone through this yet. It came out from Topps, the
Yep.
baseball card people and football card people. So it's pretty cool. I saw some of the pages online. It's it's in pretty good shape. And I don't know if you could see, it cost me $3.
Not bad at all.
That's not bad at all.
Something like that, So it's cool from 1989.
Very
Topps.
cool.
So that's my first round, my 2 books. I got a few more books for a second round, but basically that's that. That's there. So we go back to Phil. Phil,
Okay.
you're up.
I'll step it up. I have a book and I have something I wasn't planning on showing, but I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't pull from the expertise in the room. So I'm going to jump out of camera just for a second. But this is something I got cheap. It's beat up. If it were any more of a reader copy, I don't know, it'd just be pulp. But one thing my wife and I used to really enjoy doing before the pandemic was going to comedy clubs. It's something that I genuinely miss doing. So anytime I see a comic book that has a comedian on it or involved in it, I usually jump on it. This is something I don't usually collect, but I jumped into this. This is Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. This is from
Nice.
1971.
Right.
Don Rickles.
Don
In,
Rickles.
the, in the
yeah.
fourth world.
I love it.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
He
I've
was
never
like-
seen that.
He was
He
somebody.
was so good.
Yeah, I always wanted to see him. I never got a chance. But I saw this and I was like, I have to jump right on it.
Whenever he hosted those roasts on TV,
Oh, he was brutal.
Phil, is he in the story? Is he like roasting Superman or something like that?
I didn't even really crack it open. I could check quickly. Let's see.
No, that's
Okay.
okay.
Cover it together,
Oh.
people.
And let me grab this other thing here.
what issue was that again, Phil?
He can't hear you now.
He didn't have his ears in.
Oh,
You have to
that's
ask
right.
him again when he puts his ears on.
Okay, this is something I need.
So
your
what
help
was
on.
that? What issue was that again?
Number 141. September
That's right.
1971.
That's
Yeah.
right up. That's up Milt's, Mark's, and Steve's alley.
There we
Yeah.
go.
All 3 of them.
Googling it right now.
Yep.
Yeah, and like I
I knew
said,
it.
this is just.
My comic.
Yeah, I think he's in it.
Let's see. And this is what I really, I guess I need your guys' help on. I don't know. I don't have original art, but I did come across one. This was fairly inexpensive, so I don't know if this was something that was actually used or if this is for some sort of a tryout. But I got this a couple months back. I guess it's from Savage Dragon, but got this here.
Oh, wow.
And it says on the back, pencils by Greg Fitzpatrick, 2001. I'm not familiar with Greg Fitzpatrick. I Googled him. I do see he sells like a couple cover art, but I haven't found anything published. So I don't know if anybody recognizes this. Or like I said, if it was some kind of a tryout.
Hmm.
But
That's
Savage
pretty
Dragon
cool.
is the only character on here that I recognized.
Yeah, there's like a parody to the Punisher in there,
Mm-hmm.
and like
Yeah, just wanna see.
Deadpool parodies,
Actually, I think this is
the Captain America parody.
I think this is the Badger. I
Yeah,
feel like-
that looks like the Badger.
yeah.
And the guy below Savage Dragon looks familiar too.
Yeah, Daredevil guy.
Yeah.
It's almost like a
Like
parody of
Daredevil.
Hawkman
Or a Nighthawk.
or Falcon.
Yeah, kind of.
That's wild.
It could be something that he just put together at some point in time, and then
Yeah.
for whatever reason, and then somebody got it and they're selling and they sold it. It may not really be part of any kind of magazine.
Yeah, I see that. That's what my thought was. But then the very last panel here, it does show the end.
The end.
Yeah. So again, I don't know if it was a try it or something. This is UH of A2.
It's a nice piece of art, though.
Yeah, that's very cool.
If you could put that on Instagram for us all, Phil, and then we could all take a shot at trying to figure out what it's from.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Okay. That is my round 2.
Excellent. Nice piece.
Cool.
And we have a mystery to solve.
Yeah.
There we go.
I
And
like
here's the detective that can do it for us, right?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Okay. So my next 2 books, I just had to get this one because I saw it and I went, yep, I got to have it because someone was kind of talking about this series and it made me laugh.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes.
I love that. That's
More
Yeah.
go-go checks. There we go.
Yeah. So it's like Merry Man, Awkward Man, the Blimp, White Feather, and the Dumb Bunny. That's the team.
Yeah.
I like Awkward Man.
Yeah, from 1967. Like it's sorry about the glare. It's just such a cool book, and it is a goofy read, and I think it didn't go for that many issues. I think maybe about a dozen issues.
Right.
Yeah,
Something like
13 or 14. Yeah,
Yeah.
something
Was
like
it
that.
13
Yeah.
or 14?
I thought it went for 7. Anyhow,
Anyway, it didn't go for very much, and it was just it made me laugh a lot. So this is issue number 1 of the Inferior 5, which
So
I just got.
I think I showed their appearance. I think it was in Showcase.
Yeah, their first
Yeah, and
appearance.
I think I showed it on my channel, and they were
Yep.
fighting a version of the Hulk. A
Yeah.
green. I forget what they called it, but it sounded similar like the Hulk, but I can't remember what it was now.
Yeah,
So,
that
it's
was
like
their
Grand Edge on the Marvel side. They kept on
yeah.
goosing
They
each
kept
other.
they do that in that book too, and that's what kind of inspired me, Joe. When I saw that, I went, oh well, I got to get that. So
Yeah, they have I think their next appearance in Showcase, they were going up against a version of the original X-Men also. So
nice. Well, their superpowers are pretty entertaining when you read about it. And then the next one, because I like to give Marvel equal billing, is Spoof number 1, 1970, making fun of some of the TV shows. Now, it kind of like I get, like Dark Shadows, where they're going to make fun of Dark Shadows,
Right.
and I get why they're making fun of the Mod Squad, but Marooned. You guys ever even hear of that movie?
no.
Maroon, yeah.
Yeah, it was like 3 astronauts trapped, and the Russians have to save us, and Gregory Peck, and who else was in it? David Jansen. It was an okay movie, but apparently they spoofed the movie for this comic, which doesn't make sense to me. One fun fact, and I don't know if it's first appearance in comic book form, but Walter Cronkite is in this comic.
Cool.
He's doing a news story about the Marooned one. And I've never seen Walter Cronkite in a comic before. So this could be a collector's item simply for the fact of Walter Cronkite's first and only maybe
But
comic
Mark,
book.
the key is, do people nowadays know who Walter Cronkite was?
Well, I'm pretty sure I can guarantee that the people in this panel, maybe not Phil, know who Walter
I know you
Cronkite is.
Quick, Phil, Google.
Quick, Google. My next one is Mike Kaluta cover, Doorway to Nightmare DC. Back in the 70s when we started getting in all the occult nonsense, DC came out with this series. It was only
whoa, nonsense.
well, okay, we won't get in. Anyway, 5 issues. It was a pretty neat series, and Kaluta's got an interesting style. He always drew kind of, it was unique stuff. and you could tell it was Kaluta all day. So that's first appearance of Madame Xanadu, and I think probably in the 5 issues after that was her last appearance.
It looks like Ann Wilson in that.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit.
She does,
This one I got, but Steve saw me pick it up and knows about it. But this is just a,
Mm-hmm.
Milt
Another
would like
bad
this. First appearance of Howard the Duck.
was
I had this. It is just a lovely copy of this edition. My Man Thing Adventure to Fear runs. All my Man Thing runs are complete. But it was a nice book, and how can you go wrong with Howard the Duck just showing up?
Mark,
Like his first panel is like, who is this?
that's the best book of the night so far.
Oh, I don't know about that. Anyway, and then my last book is kind of we've been talking a lot about the Blue Beetle, and I just picked this up from one of my local dealers. He came across this. He and I had a negotiation. It was a fairly good one.
Cool.
nice one.
Return of the
Great
Question.
Yep.
Carl.
Very nice.
So Steve Ditko, all day. And when he came back in Carlton, it was a Blue Beetle and the Question in the same book. And then
Right.
this is the first time he was in the book by himself.
That's a nice book. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one too.
Yeah.
And those are my books.
Well
That's a
done.
great final book
Wow.
there.
Well
nice,
done.
nice.
That's a great final book.
But now
So
we have to
there
be
you go.
embarrassed by Milt again.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, we know so.
No.
We love you, Milt. We love seeing these books. It's terrific.
These are some books that I got as AOKs sent to me, and some books that I bought on Whatnot just for the hell of it. And I like music, so this first one, I just had to take it out of my collection simply because I wanted to dedicate this cover to the governor of New Mexico.
For people who don't know, she issued some kind of based on some what was it? Some sort of a health emergency.
Health emergency.
That a particular town, was it Albuquerque?
Yes.
That no one could buy guns or sport guns or anything like that because of a health emergency. So that's so I think Milt is indicating that perhaps was unconstitutional.
Anyhow, okay. How about this? I got this on Whatnot. It's the second print of Justice League of America number 12 from 2007, and I'm an Alex Ross fan, and I just like.
That's nice.
I just like this one.
You got to turn it the other way.
Upside down.
Sorry,
There
sir.
we go. There you go.
There we go.
That's a nice cover.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful cover.
I kind of like that one. It was different.
It is nice. Yeah.
And then a friend of mine AOK'd me some Zerdies. He knew I'm a Zerdy fan, so here is
Oh, nice.
That's a good cover.
Mhm.
that's a trade version, and
Better win.
the Virgin.
That's
version,
a Gary B. Gary B. Do you have that one? If not, you have to go buy it.
which I just like. I'm a big Zerdy guy, so what can I say?
Yeah, Gary
then,
was commenting this is costing him a lot of money, just like
Yeah,
the 1011.
this is the show that
Oh,
cost
this
Gary.
one's the really neat one. It's the foil.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Shiny.
Nice. The foil.
of that.
Tina, shiny.
Tina would love that.
Tina, shiny.
Mhm.
Shiny.
So, what else here? Oh, I like music books and music related books. And I happened to see this, and it is the 25th anniversary of Woodstock that Marvel put out
Ooh.
back in 1994. And I did not know that they did a special issue for.
I didn't know that either.
Oh,
No.
I've never seen that.
That's a Marvel
Nope.
book.
That's Marvel.
Huh.
So
I gotta
it's
take a look at that
kind
one.
of kind of neat.
It is neat.
And then
Very cool.
guess who did this cover? I just saw this and I figured, okay, I gotta get it.
Oh, that's great.
King Kong #1,
Wow.
done by your favorite and mine, Dave Stevens.
Mm.
I know.
Dave
Look-
Stevens.
I just
Now, of course, I'm just looking at the King Kong face. I'm not looking at anything else on that cover. Yeah.
he has that knack. There's something about the sexual, sensual. Wow.
You're
Anyhow,
talking about King Kong there, right?
yes.
Yeah, he's talking about King Kong.
Yes.
And
You know, if you
these
put a
are,
giant ape on the cover, it'll sell.
and I got 2 other books that I don't know what the hell where these came from, but I just love them. This is the Betty Page,
Oh, Betty Page.
Wow.
Yep.
Mhm.
The dynamite.
number 2, and then
That's the
go-
suntan thing, right?
Yes.
What was it?
Sunlight, yeah,
Mhm.
suntan lotion.
Copper Tone commercial, and then there's the Red Sonja, same thing,
Yeah.
but it's
That damn dog
yeah.
makes his way around.
Anyhow, but and then today I was at the LCS, and last year Marvel / Penguin put out 3 books. I collect books too, and they were, I think, Spider-Man, Captain America, and Black Panther. And today they put out 3 more books. The Fantastic Four.
I saw those at Midtown Comics today. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not the entire. Well, they are some of the Avengers
Mhm.
Uh,
and the X-Men. And what I kind of like about these is they aren't the entire. Well, like they are some of the entire stories. Like Fantastic Four is like issues 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then issues, then parts of the issues 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, and then full issue of 11, and then I think 25, 26, where they had the Avengers crossover, and then 47, 40, 48. 49, 50, or most of 50, and then a couple other issues going up to like 70 or so, and they're kind of, yeah, I like them. The first 3 they put out last year, they actually had cards inside, perhaps 8 by 4 inches. And they were autographed by a number of different artists and things. And
well, I didn't know about last year's, but this year I was down in the city today, and I
Yep.
stopped by Midtown Comics, and I saw those 3, and I picked them up, and I was saying to myself, maybe I don't know, should I? But when I looked through them, I realized that it wasn't like, you know, the first 20 issues or something like that. That it was, and so I said, oh. You know, I said, I have, except for number 1, I said, I have most of those anyway. And they're skipping stuff. And I just didn't see the point in buying it for myself anyway. You know, and if it was complete, you know,
Yes.
I might have done it. I might have gone for it because it's nice to have them all there.
like
The
as a
ones I have are
completist,
falling apart, some of them.
I had to buy them. Like I got like the Marvel Masterworks, you know, like the first 200 and some issues, and
Yeah.
And so I like the cover. I mean, granted, $50 a piece, you know, I'll give them away someday to somebody.
It sounds though that you still get a good amount for your money, at least from what you've described.
Yes, you do. And like it's $50 for the book. The paperback, when it comes out, which it will come out probably in 3 months, will be half that price,
Hmm.
and $25 for a lot of the stories make it worthwhile.
Yeah, I think it is worthwhile for the money. I think it is.
It would be interesting to know what books, why they chose what books, kind of thing. If they're not not doing them all, but
or
I don't
why
know.
portions of some books.
yeah, like why portions of some books, why you missed this issue and you missed, like, that would be interesting. But those are I've seen those advertised too. I'm trying to remember if it's through the Folio Society or someone else, like that the same idea, and they have a slip case. Now, did those ones have a slip case, Milt?
No.
'Cause I've seen, like, with the gilt pages and stuff, the same idea, and they're beautiful books, and I like the hardcover better than the soft
Yes.
cover.
Yeah.
Just, but
Also, don't have it here for some reason, but these copper tone takeoffs. There's a Vampirella and a Barbarella versions of these also, done by Josh Burns. Also,
Nice. I like
and that'd
those.
be through Dynamite. Did those probably?
I'm pretty sure these are 616 exclusives. They're both Dynamite. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's all I got going. So
That's just
Those are cool.
Very nice.
Very
I-
nice.
it's kind of neat. But anyhow, let's see what's up.
The voice.
Well, at least he didn't kill us with some the trunk books again. I was
Well,
gonna get one out.
I'm expecting you to do a reenactment of the Coppertone commercial.
Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see my ass.
I was going to pull out some EC books, but I'm just going to stick with the ones that I was looking at here. So in my basement comic book room, I started putting up some of the series that I like, besides the G.I. Joes and the George Perez's and all the other cool stuff and the Mad books that I like. I also like these horror books, and Image has been putting out some really cool ones. And I started recently picking up some of the variants because this series was supposed to be a continuing series, and it was supposed to be an ongoing series, but it only went 10 issues and just ended.
Yeah, what the hell did they do?
I don't know. We haven't heard hide nor hair from this, and it was such a good book and such
And
a
it
good
didn't end properly, I don't think.
No, it did not.
Don't
So
you
I
hate
started
that?
picking up these variants, and I could get them like super cheap because now nobody cares about this book. It just disappeared and fell off a cliff.
That was a great book, Steve.
It was. I really, really like that series. That
Who
was
was the writer on it?
This is John Archudo,
Archudo.
Archidi, something like that. So
Something
the
like
story is about a young Pawnee man named Virgil who was fighting for the Union Army in the Civil War. And he ends up having some of his shaman roots show up when demons start possessing some of the soldiers.
That's
And,
a cool-
Don't you hate when that happens?
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hate when that happens. Those
And then the
damn
only way
demons.
to kill these demons was actually using an iron weapon. So like swords and stuff that were made out of iron is the only way that you could kill these things. And normal people couldn't see that these people were possessed. So he got himself in a heap of trouble when his own sergeant and his little platoon there was possessed by one of these demons, and he could see the demons, so he killed them. And then they thought he was killing one of their own men, so they were like losing their minds and say, "Okay, we gotta stop this kid." Meanwhile, he's killing these demons, which is a really wild story, and it was carrying on, and this could be a hell of an ongoing story.
Yes.
I hope they pick it up again. Like, I hope it's just on some kind of hiatus because it is a good series.
Yeah, and some of these variant covers were really cool, so I started picking up the B covers of them. I still got a few more to pick up, but again, like I can get them dirt cheap now.
Right.
Because again, since nobody
Yeah,
cares
that's
about
a great
the book
cover.
anymore,
Look at that.
these B
It's
covers.
been like 6-7 months now. So I
At
don't
least.
know.
Yeah,
they went to 10, and then it just, like I said, it just
it
stopped.
just stopped.
So this one I picked up from my comic shop.
It's one of those books I wondered what the hell happened to it.
Yep.
Like these good old Western duster type and history
Great
and
covers. I like
supernatural.
that one.
Yeah.
all thrown together, right?
What are you picking those up for, Steve?
Like $3 and stuff for these.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
Oh, that one's really cool.
And the original, the original price was like $5.20 or whatever for them. So I'm picking them up for like $3, and it's like, great, sure, I'll take them for $3.
Yeah.
Especially getting some of these B covers.
If you like those kind of stories and the period stories in the West and that, it is a good read, but it is disappointing because it doesn't end.
Yeah.
It's just
they leave us hanging in issue 10. So this is
right. So I'm looking at that and I'm saying to myself, I love the covers. The story sounds like it's good, but now since I know that it ended like,
here's the final one that they just ended the series, and then nothing's been since this one, and they're just kind of leaving you hanging here.
Yeah.
Do you ever think of trying to reach out to the author?
Yeah, I guess we probably could get them on IG or whatever, right?
Well, the first story arc wrapped up, right? And that was five issues.
Yeah, because they were at some little town or whatever, and they were fighting them all off, and the whole army was taken over, and they were.
And that so Joe, the very first story arc ends, and then they start into a second story arc, and they don't finish it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not reading Philadelphia. I don't know pretty well.
Joe, get the first 5 issues.
Yeah. You get the first 5 and then stop.
Philadelphia is still going, but I haven't seen an issue for a while. Like, I don't know if they've done the same thing to it. Because Philadelphia is another good series.
That's just a brutal cover.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I know that AWA had a series, Brother of All Men. And I think they only put out 2 issues, and that was almost a year ago at this point.
Wait a second. Well, I'm good with AWA. What was that again?
A Brother of All Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just stopped.
Yeah, it was another historical piece too.
So that's number 1 again.
Yeah, that's the one I really remember. I love that cover.
The first 5, huh? Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, the first 5, Joe, I think the first 5 or 6, the story arc ends, and you could stop the series there, and then the next one starts, and it doesn't really wrap up at all.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, good one to pick up, and that's my round.
That was
Very
lovely.
All right, those are cool.
So far, I've written down two books or series. See, Gary, it's not just you. It's the rest of us too.
Steve, that was a good pick.
List.
Those are good picks, Steve.
Those are cool, man.
Yeah,
cool.
I like those.
All right.
Chuck, my friend.
So I've just got 2 more things here to show. I went on My Comic Shop and won an auction. And while I was getting ready to pay for the auction, I looked to fill a couple of runs and found something to help fill the run with. So I got 2 slab books here, and then I'm done. Good. So to fill a run, now that they're cheap, thank you, Marvel Streaming and other things. We have an Eternals 5.
Oh yeah, great book.
Again, one of these series where I've got, a dozen of the issues and just never finished it for whatever reason, because it's not a great read. I mean, it's not bad. It's Kirby. So, I mean,
Kirby art is great.
Even, the art's beautiful, and even bad Kirby is at least tolerable. But there are times when the series gets kind of incoherent, and,
it's a tough read sometimes.
Yeah, it's a tough read sometimes. Even reading the official handbook of the Marvel Universe explanation of it all still makes my head hurt. So but that's okay. But I got 96 and I got cheap, which
nice.
Was really nice. And then the book I won in the auction, which I kind of referenced last night at Gary's show, I was really, really psyched to get this, and I got it cheap also. It is a Silverhawks number 3. Absolutely stupid book, but it's got white pages, and if it matters to you, it's a newsstand for a Star book.
There you go.
Yeah. So
that's a tough one to find too, isn't it?
Yeah, these Star books, man, they are, there's a subset of people who really, really collect these things hard, and a lot of people talk about the nostalgia they have for all their old cartoons. This cartoon is not one that I have a ton of nostalgia for.
No,
but it had a decent enough theme song.
It was a bad cartoon.
Yeah, well, don't tell Richard that because he's now celebrating it. So, but but it had a wonderful theme song to it.
Yes, it
I'm
did.
sorry to say, and this was kind of cool to get, and especially in a 9.8. So
What was this show on? Because this is new to me. I don't remember
Oh.
ever seeing this.
And
Yeah, you're talking. It was probably early to mid '80s. I remember I
Yeah.
had
Late
the
80s.
action figures.
late 80s.
Was it
mid
late?
late 80s.
Yeah.
This comes out at the same people who did Thundercats did
Yeah.
the series.
Okay.
And so, and they had the real cheesy, the little Martian guy had to sit in a school so you could get your educational content, so that Liddy Dole and everybody else would not be upset that they were showing cartoons to us impressionable kids. So,
Yeah.
and they shot their lasers just as well as the GI Joe people shot their guns,
Exactly. Hit nothing.
which was not very good. But
Stormtroopers.
What made that issue special?
nothing particular. It's I've got
Just
a couple. There's only 7 issues in the series, and I've got like 3 of them. And I was trolling the auctions, and it was going for I got it for under $60, and
For a 9.8.
a 9.8 40-year-old comic, that was aimed at younger kids. I mean, for under under $60, why not? I mean,
Yeah, exactly. That's a no-brainer.
There was a dealer that at Toronto when Steve and I were there, Chuck, that had an entire short box of Star Comics,
Yeah.
and there was nothing in that box less than $20.
Oh, I thought yes. Well,
And it went from 20 up.
Yeah. Oh, I finished my run of Muppet Babies a couple of years ago, and they started getting expensive near the end, and of course the 25th anniversary issues are so hard to find for all those Star books. So so that's all I've got for the rest of this round. So
nice.
Okay, so it's up to me to finish it up, right?
It'll be done right, Joe.
So last time around, I think it was, or whatever, I showed this, right?
Mhm.
Haven't cracked it yet. All right. This was because I saw it on Gary B's 1011. Somebody had the individual ones and said, "Oh, you can get it, as a book and all that." So I got it, and I'm looking forward to reading through it. But
love it.
I'm a big Doc
Good for the
Savage
biceps too.
fan. What's that?
Good for the biceps too. Holding that book up.
I'm a big Doc Savage fan. I have a lot of Doc Savage stuff downstairs and all that, and someday we'll make a video about it. And so as I was looking through some of the individual issues, fighting really hard not to say I should buy all these individual issues as well, I did see this, and I said, I got to get this. So this is issue number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Doc Savage on it. So I can't wait to read the book I have here and see what he's doing in there. But I just love that gun.
Yeah.
Ellis treats Doc Savage with a lot of respect. I will say that. So
yeah. Well, Warren Ellis is a pretty good writer, so I think so. This was a pretty good one I picked up. The other thing too is I had a once Metamorpho was announced as being in the new Superman movie coming out in 2025, Superman Legacy, and I did a video about it, and I showed my comic books. I had gone through numbers 1 to 12. I have since picked up a few others, but I didn't realize that there was actually a second series that came out in 2007, I believe it was. So when I saw that, I said, well, I should pick up that second series, and I was able to go onto eBay and get the whole second series for a pretty good price. And the interesting about it is, here's the first issue, right? The artwork, of course, is very different. Second issue, Beware the Orb. And you should think about this particular one. I love this one. I don't know what that character is. Looks almost like an OMAC type of thing, but I don't know what it is, right? The covers are pretty good. The artwork is pretty good. The interesting about it is you can see at the bottom here is Dan Jurgens, who is the creator of Booster Gold, one of my faves, actually wrote this series. It's a 6-issue series. And this is a great cover with all the heroes in there,
Nice.
He wrote the series, and he did all of the I guess what would you call it? He did the I guess the layouts, you know. And then another artist who I don't know his name was Jesse. What's his probably on here? Del Perdang, you know, finished it up, which I never heard of him before. But it's great. It's got all the characters, you know, it's got Rick Mason, who's Metamorpho. It's got Simon Stagg, who's generally the evil guy, the guy who actually created him. You got Sapphire Stagg, his girlfriend, who's Stagg's daughter. So that's a little bit of a conflict there. And you have Java, who was a Cro-Magnon type of man that somehow Simon Stagg, who's a genius, gave him like I don't know, upgraded his IQ brain and stuff like that. So the original series was really funny. There was a lot of funny parts about it, and the way it was drawn almost in a comic strip type of way. This is a little bit different, so I'm looking forward to reading this. And the last book that I got is another one of my favorite characters is Zatanna. But I don't have a lot of Zatanna because I haven't really focused in on it. But I saw this one online. It's a New York Comic-Con exclusive. It's Dark Crisis #4, and it's a David Nakayama cover, and it's just a beautiful cover. So when I saw this, I said,
cool.
I got to pick this up. It's shiny.
Oh,
shiny,
yes.
Mhm.
you know? But
Nice.
I mean, he looks just great in this cover, and you know, she should probably do one of those copper tone commercials.
Indeed.
So that's it. So those are my books there too. So we had a lot of good books here tonight.
Yeah.
So before we ended up, let me ask, and anybody, you know, if you want to answer it, that's fine. But Gary suggested this for the ending. So is there a book that you are chasing? I'm chasing the remainder of the Metamorpho series. I got 2 more, I think numbers 16 and 15 to get. And I'm also chasing the first Charlton Ted Cord series, which were 5 books. I got numbers 3, 4, and 5. So I'm looking for a decent price for numbers 1 and 2. So
1 and
those
2.
are the books that I'm chasing now. Anybody else?
Yeah, I wouldn't say like I'm actively chasing any book, but I'm always looking to fill in some holes with X-Men, which for the past few years, good luck. You know, I just try to find any beat up copies at this point to fill it in, because I think at this point it's just 100 and lower that I'm looking for. Other than that, I've always been interested in filling in Marvel Comics Presents Volume 1, which I'm almost done with, and just some What If.
So this volume 1 you're looking for?
Yeah, like the original series.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still looking for Fear issue 3 from the Marvel series. Fear issue 3.
When did that come out?
1970, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
One, I thought.
Googling.
Yeah, it was because Fear. That was a series, Fear, and then they changed the name from Fear to either Tales of It was that one of those Bronze Age horror books that only had a few issues, and then they changed the title. And Fear 3 has eluded me. Like I've looked for that at cons. I've found Fear 1 again and Fear 2 and all that, but I keep missing Fear 3.
What, Moe's Attic didn't have that one?
Moe's Attic did not have it, which just irritated me, Steve, because I tried. I'm surprised you didn't show that treasury tonight.
I'm waiting for the 10-1-1 with Gary.
Oh,
He's saving it for Gary's show. Okay.
Yeah, I got about 3,000 books that I'm going to show during that show. Joe has inspired me now.
You're gonna beat out my 30-12-3. Anybody else looking for a book? Chasing something?
Yeah. So I've got a couple of Gold Key Phantoms I'm trying to track down to finish my run. I'm down, I think, just 2 issues I'm missing. And I've got a lead on one, and I got another one I want to find at a better price than what eBay has it at right now. I've got a Marvel Romance I'm trying to find in decent shape. It's got a rare cover, but again, I found a couple of them online, but they're all more expensive than I want. And I'm currently working on doing installment plans on a big key book that I look forward to showing off once it's done. So
Wow,
it's
Good
going
job.
to take a couple of months. So
looks that way.
so
Now, Milt is not looking for anything because he
Oh,
knows
no,
if he
no,
goes,
I am.
if he
I
goes to the
actually-
treasure chest down, they just opens
all
it
in
up.
his
He's going to
trunk.
find whatever he's looking for.
There's two things I'm looking for right now. I was thinking about it, and Resident Alien
Oh,
was out in a number of like 4-issue series, and there was one in 2016 I never picked up, and it was 4 issues. I don't know the title, but it's one of those things I could probably pick up on eBay for $30. So I might do that. And then I'd like to upgrade my Fantastic Four #1, get like a 7 or something.
Just cause.
that's the only one I'm missing. Fantastic Four #1.
Well, you can have my old one if I get the new one. So,
Oh yeah,
There you go.
okay.
There you go.
My
but
big grail book is NYX #3 that I've been looking for. And then just the GI Joes, I'm getting graded copies now. So #2 will be the next one I'll be hunting after.
NYX #3.
Yep.
First X-23.
Yeah. That's,
how many issues were there?
6.
6. Okay.
This is the one you're talking about, Nick? But not #3. This is #1. I
No,
think.
no, it's a different series.
It's a different series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which series is that, Steve? Because that's the one I thought you were talking about.
Yeah,
No,
I
it
didn't know
was-
about another series.
It came out in 2005, I believe it was.
Huh.
And it was
By-
the NYX, and it had Laura Kenny. The first X-23 is in that one.
Oh,
I've got all the rest of them except for that one book, and it's pricey because I was at the Fan Expo. There was 2 copies there, 9.8s, and they wanted $2,000 for them. And
wow.
that's
$2,000
like way
now?
overpriced. Yeah, well,
Wow.
they've
Yeah, no,
actually
that was way
dropped.
out of it.
They're way overpriced.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get them under 1,000 now. I've seen them on short boxed. And
Gary says it's a Marvel series. Is that right?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
The NYX had a lot of titles from all different, companies.
If you, it's 1971, Chuck. I looked it up on Google.
okay.
But
Let me ask you guys a question. If you were looking in eBay and you found somebody selling a book that was signed by J. Scott Campbell and Stan Lee, and then you were going to buy it, but all of a sudden you realized the seller was in Mexico.
Oh,
How big of a red flag is that for you guys?
waving,
yeah. Fake books coming out of there.
waving. There's some.
I mean, if you
maybe
buy it with PayPal, are you still? I mean, are you safe?
you're safer, but it's going to be depending on how they describe it, Milt. You have to
Yeah.
really read the description because they hide behind descriptions. There's some sellers down south of you guys that are selling books with bogus signatures or photocopied books
Yeah.
Yeah.
that they age the pages.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
say this is the original, and they get cracked CGC cases and they repackage them, and
Oh,
You-
so just
yeah,
red
I-
flag, ignore it.
Yeah.
It's-
The whole thing. Yeah.
yeah, the whole thing. I'd be really leery of it.
Big time.
Well, Matt Woods has some suggestion here.
Come at me and see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, he won't come up here. We've
Yeah.
invited him, haven't we?
I think they're flagging him at the border.
Well, I think so.
We're supposed to go to Pittsburgh though to meet Milt to go out with Milt and a few people, whatever. I don't know. So
Well, Pittsburgh is not in Canada, Joe. I know that.
It's not one of our provinces.
It's
I
not
don't know,
one of
anything west of the Hudson confuses me. I don't know.
Oh man.
All right, guys. Well, this was a really good show. I like I said, I wrote 2 things down. I'm going to start looking for. So I want to thank the chat people that showed up. had a lot of good conversation going there. Thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate you showing up to the show and watching us talk about the comics that we have. Also want to I want to thank again Steve, the voice White, always has some great stuff there. All right. Milt and his treasure chest, or two that he has. Fantastic books, Milt. Chuck, of course, as usual, thanks again, and great books. Mark Andrews, you were kind of okay today, Mark. I'm just joking, Mark. No, you're great. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry to disappoint, Joe.
I'm sorry, Mark. I just, since you sold your guns, I feel like I can do this.
Oh, no. Again, come on up. I'll take you for a walk in the woods.
I don't know about that. Joe, did you see,
Phil,
did you
this
see-
is Phil's first time on. Phil, thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you find out anything about that original art, let us know because I'm curious about that mystery.
I will
And
do. Yeah.
Phil is going to be on the comic book crowd last Friday of the month, 9 p.m. A great topic. We're going to talk about the amalgam universe and the characters that are there. And some of us may make up our own combination DC Marvel characters. I already have a couple that I'm thinking about. I might actually try to draw it. So, and Dave Bratton's going to be on there too. He's already come up with 2, he tells me.
Excellent.
So, and then of course we're going to have Alan and Matt on as well. So try to stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. That should be a lot of fun. I don't look for. I think Alan said he's going to do Stickman because that's all he can draw.
Oh, you
And
stole
if
my
you watched
idea.
that last time that Matt tried to draw something, but he can still describe it, so that's going to be okay. All right, guys. So again, thanks everybody for showing up. I appreciate it. We had a great time tonight, and we'll have another espresso mail call probably sometime next month. All right. So take care, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.